Deuces Wild Daily Hustle. What's up, bitches?
Oh, bitches with the double flippies. Look at you. Look at you.
How about
Hey,
the
since he is in the audience and since he does know how much it means to me, Tommy Luke, thank you for my Jack Daniels representing shirt that I made sure I brought some and a backup just in case.
thrill? That is phenomenal, man.
Tommy
The
Luke can
Jack
come up with some
Daniels
stuff,
shirt
and
with
it's funny because Josh and I we make fun of him. Big Mike make fun of him, but his saying is he's like, "I got a guy," and he's got a guy. He's got a guy for goddamn everything. And so this is about the I don't know what is it, Tommy? Maybe third or fourth shirt that you've given me like this that I freaking fire on the program. Matter of fact, he made one that had just no filter all the way across the damn thing.
no. Tommy got me one of those no filter ones. Thrill. I'm wearing this glorious Astros sweater because earlier today I saw a clip put out on social media that had Joe West, the old umpire, wearing basically the same fucking sweater behind the plate, umpiring a game in Houston because apparently he lost his umpire's gear.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
fucking hysterical to think that something like this actually happened in a big league game. How about the Cowboy Joe West?
Oh God Almighty! Hey, that wasn't the only time that happened. That happened a few times where I mean, those umpires, they got to fly, and when their luggage gets lost and stuff like that, they're screwed. Because they got all their stuff in their luggage, and so evidently they showed up in Houston. Houston's like, well, here's a pair of shin guards, here's a chest protector, and you got to cover it up with something. So here's an Astros sweater or whatever. And Joe West, I guarantee you, I promise you, because Joe West being Joe West, somebody was giving him a shitload of grief, a shitload.
Of course, the Cowboy, they refer to him because I don't know. One of the things he did is he sang country music.
Yeah, yeah. He would
Thrill, are we gonna miss
literally.
the old
He
school
would
umpires like that?
he would tell me. I mean, he'd literally tell me, "Hey, we need to hurry up and get this game over with. I got a concert I got to put on at this something something bar or whatever." And sure enough, he'd leave the ballpark and he'd go over there and he'd sing and make a few dollars extra on the side.
And what would you say? Like, fuck, Joe, I need you focused right here, man. I'm trying to earn a living.
I'm like, he and I had so many stupid conversations about that. We had one game. It was just one of those games. It was a 10-11 jobby, just back and forth and back and forth. It was actually a good game to be a part of, but you know, if you were an umpire or something like that, West was on first base going, Jesus Christ Almighty, can't you guys get this game over with? And I said, I looked at him and as straight a face as I could, I said, Joe, if you don't like your job, quit. We don't need you. And so, that's the kind of relationship Joe and I had. I think he respected me. I definitely respected him, but we would go at it from time to time.
Oh man, you just think pretty soon they're gonna all be robots.
You know what? I don't know what's going on. I brought this up last night because I did a podcast for Billy Wagner, and the Hall of Fame pitcher, great dude. He's got a bunch of coaches in his audience. Matter of fact, one of them is in the chat room right now, Nicholas. If y'all scroll back through, Nicholas is in here, and we got to talking about that, and I'm like, I cannot understand why the umpires have not raised a shitload of stink about this, automated umpiring. I mean, because the last time this kind of stuff happened, they walked out. They went on strike, and that's when they had a bunch of people cross the line and stuff like that. But I mean, they're basically trying to do away with the umpires right now and trying to make it machines, just like everything else.
Yes and no. I don't think they have any bargaining leverage at this point because I think MLB will say, fuck you, we will replace you with robots. But at the same time, if they play their cards right, I think they realize that even with the automated strike zone, even with replay and all that other bullshit, they're still going to have their jobs.
Yeah.
So realizing that and realizing their jobs are actually getting made easier for them, they'd be fucking idiots to walk out at this point.
Well, you never know. You never know. But anyway, one thing that we need to do is beep, 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 beep. Even though this happened yesterday, beep, 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 beep. You can take it away with a giant signing.
The San Francisco Gigantes signed Harrison Bader. I believe it is a 2-year deal.
2-year, 20.5 million. So he makes 10.25 a year. And, San Francisco Giants are getting a gold glover. The one thing that I have to say, all right, I don't know him personally. You probably do from working, with MLB Network and all that sort of stuff. But every time I saw him in the outfield, it immediately reminded me of you. You guys could be freaking twins, dude. I'm telling you right now. Every time I saw him, I'm like, oh shit, Eric's out there. No, it's Bader. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I certainly have heard that before. He's a bad motherfucker, good looking kid. I see how and why all
Yeah.
the comparisons come. Certainly plays the game the right way. Really good. All three outfield positions. He is a defensive fucking wizard.
Yeah.
A little hit or miss with the bat. I don't think this is a guy that is going to put you over the top offensively by any means, but this is what I love about the sign. I think the Giants have enough from an offensive perspective to score enough. In this league, right now, it's going to all come down to fucking run prevention. Harrison Bader will help prevent runs. And he's a guy with the game on the line I have no problem having up at the plate. Now, the consistency of the numbers year in and year out have not been there, but his glove has. This guy's a fucking proven winner, and I'm excited that the Giants got him.
Well, I'm glad you said all of that stuff right there that you said because I did some digging. Like I said, I don't know him. I'm looking forward to seeing him play, but he led all of MLB outfielders in outs above average. He had
Wow.
76, and like the closest to him was, I don't know, 55 or 50 or something like that. And so, okay, here's a metric: outs above average. What the shit is that? So I go back and I look at it, and it's a metric of how many outs a player has saved. And so basically, that metric is telling you exactly what you just said. He's a badass in the outfield. He gets good jumps. He has great routes. He doesn't throw to the wrong base. He hits the cutoff man. I mean, blah 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 blah. That's how you lead in that category right there. Yeah, okay. I mean, he's a 247 career hitter. He's got 88 jacks, 322 ribbies. He's played off and on parts of 9 years, but he's a Gold Glove winner. And I mean, it's no secret. I mean, when you look at the article on Bader, they come up and say it again, where they go, "Hey, Giants finished last in defense, so they're going out and they're getting the best freaking center fielder that's out there, and they're like, all right, he might not be the 280, 290 hitter, although he did hit, wait a second, beep, 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 beep. He hit 305 or something like that, 315 for the Phillies in a part-time duty last year, so he can be serviceable with the bat. But it's the fact that we don't get the cheap runs scored on us, and it also, I mean, Jung Hoo Lee can play center field. We know that, but it also frees him up to go play a corner outfield spot.
Yeah, that's huge, dude. I mean, the numbers too from last season in a limited role, 277 overall, 347 on base percentage, 449 slug, almost an 800 OPS. If he can replicate those numbers, he's entering his age 32 season. I think the Giants are going to be really happy. He's also a guy that, even if he's not an every single day guy, he's still going to bring value to your team night in and night out. He will be in there defensively in the seventh, eighth, ninth inning to lock down a game in which the Gigantes have the lead. So I really, really like this sign. I mean, this is a call it a Kurt Signetti sign. It's not about having the best guys, it's about having the right guys. And Harrison Bader is a right guy for this fucking team.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, there's no secret. I mean, Oracle, Pac Bell, AT&T, whatever the shit you want to call it. I mean, it's challenging, and if he's a Gold Glover, I know for a fact he's going to go out there and work at his craft, right? And if he's working at his craft, then it should pawn off on guys like Jung Hoo Lee, guys like Drew Gilbert, guys like Heliot Ramos. They should be paying attention to the Gold Glover that's out there and how he goes about his business.
And that's huge because
Yeah.
I haven't seen Harrison Bader work, but I have seen some of the other greats work in the outfield. And I'll just use Alex Gordon as an example, a converted third baseman who became the best left fielder in baseball, and it
Yeah.
wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I would watch him take batting practice live, boom, off the bat, boom, off the bat. He wasn't trying to get every one of them. He would boom off it, run it down, make the play, throw the ball in, jog back to his position, maybe throw in a few seeds, pack a pouch of Copenhagen, whatever the fuck it was, and then boom, do the same thing, go in the other direction. That is how you work in the outfield to become a better outfielder. I do think the park metrics probably hurt them anyway, where they might not be getting the balls that other guys are getting to in other ballparks. I don't think defensive metrics are perfect, but certainly there is some sort of value to them, and Harrison Bader has proven to be a defensive wizard.
Yes. And on top of that, okay, before you got on here, there was a nice discussion going on in the chat room brought up by Miss Linda and Miss Nora. That would be the sisters. And Linda was telling off on Nora about how Nora loves Bader. And then they got into Bader's boner. All right.
Whoa, whoa,
So
whoa, whoa,
how
whoa,
we
whoa!
got
Hey, this is a family show,
this
Thrill.
is a family show, but now we're talking about boners. All right. So then it goes from Bader's boner to Bader's boner babes. So now Linda and Nora are Bader boner babes.
Well, they've started the Bader Boner fan club here, and it's Linda and Nora who frequent the ballpark out there in San Francisco. It
Oh my
started
god! Oh my god!
on Deuces
I can't
Wild.
wait. I can't wait till I see Linda and Nora with a big ass piece of wood or something like that, or a big fake dildo or something like that coming to the yard. I'm a Bader boner babe.
Oh, this is incredible, dude. Hey, I have a question.
Yeehaw! There
I have
you
a
go, Linda and Nora. You guys have just made it.
Speaking of that, I'm just curious. And I don't, I mean, again, we're a family show and everything.
Hell yeah, we are. Until
But
we
have
start
you
getting
ever,
carried away with
and
boners.
I'm really not. I'm actually going to take it back to something that's very very real, and it's not a joke. It's actually something that exists. And I'm curious if you have any idea about the penis plant because it's no, dude, it's a real thing, man. I and there's all sorts of them, and they're all different like shapes and sizes, and but apparently these plants they grow somewhat like penises, and sometimes multiple at a time. Um, the Deuces Wild crowd, I gotta figure, is very verse in the penis plant. Linda, Nora, your thoughts?
Yeah, no kidding. We turn it over to y'all again. Good
Oh
Lord
yeah,
Almighty. Like you
that's
said,
fantastic.
family show, but we get sidetracked here and there
It's just every now and again.
every
Oh,
now and then. Hey,
okay,
you know
Thrill.
what else too? I mean, we went over Harrison Bader quite a bit, and you and I both thinking the same thing, and everybody in the chat room is kind of thinking the same thing. Good sign, but there's still some hellacious free agents out there, and I know you're pretty well versed on them. So, who you want to talk about?
Well, there are some top free agents still left on the market. The number one guy who is tied to a draft pick, which may be a reason why he's not signed yet, but also a guy who does not come without a little bit of controversy when he crossed up his catcher intentionally towards the end of last season after giving up a grand slam. Framber Valdez still unsigned. He was seen as the number one pitcher on the free agent market, yet no deal. Thrill, did his actions cost him millions?
You know what? I mean, I don't know what some of these executives are looking at, whether that is something that affected it or not. But I do know that every year, there's somebody who's a high profile free agent, and you either get to damn near spring training or into spring training, and they're still not signed. It's happened damn near every year. You've been in baseball long enough, everybody in the chat room knows. So I don't know whether the executives are trying to hold off on him and see if they can force his price down or whatever it might be. And like you said, he comes with a draft pick too. So I don't know.
I'm just not sure I'm willing to give up 200, 300, 400 million dollars for a guy that may have some character issues and also a guy that is not necessarily in the prime of his career at this point. You got to believe it should be trailing towards the back end. He's still a really good pitcher. I would take him on my staff, even as much as we've talked about all the issues that have come with him. I still believe in the pitcher himself. And quite frankly, one mistake, I don't think should cost you. So that said, he's certainly a guy that I would consider bringing on. But when you talk about hundreds of millions of dollars, and then you talk about the fact that you're giving up a draft pick, there's just a lot attached there, especially if there is a character question.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. I can't deny any of that. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Um, we also don't know the history of him and that catcher. That that might have happened a bunch in the past where he shook him off, and then the guy put the same sign down. And he shook him off, and the guy put the same sign down. You never know. There's a lot of those guys that are like that. That just a pitcher has problems getting along with. So who knows what's going on there? But just the fact that he's a quality pitcher, he's a ground ball type of pitcher because he gets a lot of off speed stuff that's hit in the dirt. You know, he would work good for a team that can flat out pick it.
Ah, yeah, I
All
think he
right,
really would.
one guy that you and I both know, and I don't know why he hasn't signed yet because he can get, even though he's streaky, he puts together a damn good year every year. But it's Suarez that
Eugenio
was, you know,
Suarez.
the third baseman for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, why, dude? Why do I look at him sometimes though, and I just feel like he has no chance? It's so fucking weird, man. And he
It
puts
is
up
weird
40 home runs every single season.
every year, and then you look at him some games, and you're like, dude, he couldn't touch it if he swung a freaking boat paddle at it. And then the next day, he'll take that same pitch and hit that son gun 500 feet. And you're like, what kind of dude am I looking at here? You know, and that's why I prefaced it, you know, when I said before about being streaky. He is so freaking streaky.
He was with the Mariners at the end of last season. He hit the opposite field grand slam in the eighth inning of ALCS Game 5 to put the Mariners up for good. A fan favorite in Seattle. Seattle certainly is checking in with his camp to see what is possible in bringing him back. The Pirates, of all teams, are another team that have checked in with uh, Suarez as well. All right.
I know what the Pirates are thinking. The Pirates are thinking we can get a really good third baseman, we can get a power hitter, and we might be able to get him cheap. That's what they're thinking right there. They're thinking we might be able to, because he's not getting any offers, we might be able to come in on the low end of things and lowball him, and he might sign.
Okay, Thrill. Another free agent still on the market. This one baffles me a little bit because he is a bit of a throwback. He is a career 317 hitter, one of the best bat to ball skilled dudes that we've seen in a long fucking time.
Yes.
Very consistent. Luis Arraez still out of a job. Your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, you just nailed it right on the head. A throwback. You know, he's a guy that puts the bat on the ball. He'll cut his swing down. He uses the whole field. He hits any pitch you throw up there. You know, it just depends on what he's looking for at that time. Consistent 300 hitter. Last year he had in his eyes, probably his worst year of his career, and he still had 181 hits. You know, those are
He
the
led the
guys.
National League in hits.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the guys right there. All right. Because I know the difference. Those are the guys, when you put them at the top of the lineup, you hit them one or two, they set up 3, 4, and 5. You get 3, 4, and 5 that are going to have 100 RBIs because of that one dude. Or if you combine him with another guy, two guys. And that's what you would love to have. You'd love to have two guys hitting like that, leading up to your big power guys. And that's how you rack up RBIs. And for him not to be appreciated for what he does, because, you know, instead of hitting 220 and, you know, driving in 60 with 20 something homers, he hits 300. He gets on base. He scores runs. He does all the little things that you need a top of the order guy to do for the big boppers that are coming up behind you.
Well, he played first base for the Padres last season. He is versatile. He can play multiple positions. San Diego still needs a first baseman. So at this point, they have not had any interest really in bringing him back. It says beyond that, there's been a connection to the Rangers earlier this offseason, but that hasn't had much to it since. I don't know, Thrill. Are guys like Luis Arraez, are they not valued anymore? And are they undervalued? And if you're putting together a team, and again, I'm going to bring this back up to Indiana football and Kurt Signetti and say, are we trying to find the best guys with the best stats? Or are we trying to find the right fucking guys that will help you win baseball games in multiple ways? I don't know. Uh, it's the big question out there. It seems like Luis Arraez, to me, is one of those guys that would be the right guy. Because when everyone else is fucking swing and miss, swing and miss, swing and miss, I'm counting on this motherfucker to go up there, put some wood on the ball, and make something happen.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I can't. I mean, let's look at it from this standpoint. Okay, he hit 292 last year. Hit, like you said, had 181 hits. He led the NL in hits. He had 8 homers and he had 61 RBIs. He is legitimately like 5 or 6 RBIs less than Kyle Tucker, who's now making $60 million. And this guy's hitting 292.
I agree.
I'm just
There you
saying.
go.
Just
So
saying.
you take a guy like that, you put him in the, depending on what your lineup looks like, but the Padres got a good lineup. You put this guy in like the fucking 6 hole. It's perfect. Why? Because all those motherfuckers before him are getting on base, and now he comes up and look, what's the benefit of a hit? It's way more important than a walk. It's going to score the motherfucker on second, right?
Hey, we had a saying. We had a saying, and it is definitely the truth. Let's get this guy in the stretch because a lot of times guys can't pitch out the stretch. And it's the truth. You've seen that before. Guys are dominant when they're in the freaking one of these numbers. But a guy gets a base knock, a guy gets a walk. All of a sudden, now he's got to contend with Arraez might steal, and he's looking over his shoulder, and the freaking strike zone eludes him. All right, you're looking at Arraez right now. I mean, dude, this is just. Let me reel this off. Year number 1. 334 batting average, 321, 294, 316, 354, 314, 299, 318. Come on. Come on. You need a 300 hitter in your lineup. I don't give a fuck what team we're talking about. You need a 300 hitter in your lineup to set everybody up.
And if there are days for whatever reason that you decide that you want to sit him, go for it. He's not a guy that you're going to have to overpay so outrageously that you feel like you have to put him in there every single day. This is a guy that could play multiple places. This is a guy that when the badass motherfucker takes the mound, whoever that be, I mean, it could be a schoolboy. I know it's left on left. It doesn't matter to me, right? You take one of the top dudes in the league and you put him on the mound, say a Paul Skeens, Luis Arraez is leading off for me, right? That's the guy that I know is going to put a fucking at bat on that dude's ass. So,
yeah. And then here's another thing.
That's going to be a great sign for somebody.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an awesome sign. I hope it's us. I mean, I'd love to have him on our team to set up Adames and Chapman and everybody else. Devers, Bryce Eldridge. I'd love for him to set all these guys up. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Thrill.
All right. Well, here's another guy. Here's another guy on the free agent list that has not signed yet. I have liked him from day one when I saw him because he's been in our division, and that's Mr. Galen that was over there Zach with the Diamondbacks. What's his first name?
Zach Gallen.
Zach Gallen. All right. Dude, the first time I saw him, I'm like, ooh, I like this guy. Gamer, mixes pitches up, control dude, can be a power guy when you need him to be, and eats up innings. I like this guy.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Let me be interested to see. It's a 3.58 ERA over 7 major league seasons. He finished third in the National League of the Cy Young voting in 2023. He's just 30 years old too, so he could be a really good sign for somebody. The other guy that is on the market, Thrill, Chris Bassett. 3.96 ERA for the Blue Jays. Last year, he's proven to be durable, making at least 30 starts in each of the past 4 seasons. So if you're looking for a number 4, a number 5 guy in your rotation that is going to take the ball every fifth day. Chris Bassett is your dude.
Yeah, and the only thing that Bassett has going against him is his age. But I mean, as far as like pitching and knowing how to pitch, I mean, we saw him in the playoffs, and this guy's got a freaking idea what he's doing up there. But I mean, like you said, I mean, there's still a bunch of free agents out there that you sit there and you shake your head and you're like, why is this team staying pat? They ought to make a little move, and so I don't know. I know one thing. I'm excited about Bader because there's no secret that the Giants finished last in defense last year, and
Yeah.
Bader's going to help that out a lot.
That's a great sign, man. It really is. And he's coming off a good offensive year for him, well above his career average. And then also, again, just what he brings to the table defensively. I love this sign. I can't go on and on. For her non-superstar sign. And forget the fact that there's some comps coming my way and everything else. That's not the reason. I think this is a guy that's going to help the Giants win fucking baseball games. All right, another guy who could potentially help teams win baseball games. Not far away from a superstar campaign in 2023 and also another one in 2024. He had a 552 slugging percentage in those years. Marcell Ozuna. Atlanta wanted to move Ozuna at the 2025 trade deadline, but found there wasn't much of a market for him. Well, dude, he had a 400 slugging percentage in 2025. This guy's a bat, dude. He's fucking he is a legitimate, proven bat. He's had success. There's been teams like the Pirates who have had interest in him. As for other options, a potential contender, otherwise expected to small ball its way through 2026, Cleveland or Kansas City would be good spots for him as well. Marcell Ozuna, Thrill. Any thoughts on him?
He's he's not far removed from, like you said, a 35, 40 homer season, 100 RBIs, that kind of thing. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. He is, and I've watched him have a bunch of at bats because he was in Atlanta. He was always on TV and stuff like that. So I've seen him have a lot of at bats, and there are some really good professional at bats where he knew what the shit's coming, and you could just tell he was sitting on it and stuff like that. This would be a great sign for anybody if you could, kind of get him cheap, and he's going to be able to, help out your younger guys, especially some of your Latin hitters, and maybe make a little dent on that side of things.
Okay, another free agent thrill is a future first ballot Hall of Famer. Pitched for the San Francisco Giants last season, actually pitched pretty well. Justin Verlander, a lot of ties to the Baltimore Orioles, collectively, our former team. He's a Virginia native. Seems like it'd be a great fit for an aging veteran with a lot of knowledge to help a young staff there.
Yeah, and then not only that too. I mean, if he's a native, and I don't know what his situation is with his wife, but you could play in front of your kids. Your kids could come to the ballpark all the time, that kind of thing. You can have your family members, your in-laws, all that, cousins, all that. And a lot of times when you move close to home like that, guys perform better. So I don't know, that might be a good fit for the Orioles. He still think he still thinks that he's got stuff in the tank. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Kate Upton is the wife of Justin Verlander, the superstar actress, whatever. I'm not exactly sure.
She was a model.
Exact. Yeah, model, actress, all of the above. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't even know if they have kids. They may, or they may not.
Yeah.
Huh. Um. Okay. Well, that's going over, I think, most of the candidates. Oh, the other guy, Thrill, that we need to talk about, and I'm not sure which one I'd sign first. Never mind. I know which one I'd sign first. Max Scherzer, proven to still want the fucking baseball. Obviously, showed that in the postseason last year with the Blue Jays. Max Scherzer still on the market right now. I gotta believe there's a spot for Scherzer still somewhere in this league.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's in the same boat as Verlander. I mean, they both still have really good stuff. They know how to pitch because they've been doing that their whole lives. And then you saw what Scherzer brings to the table, last year in the playoffs. So, these guys, these veteran dudes, not only can they go out there and do their job, but then they can go out there and they can affect some of the younger guys who are coming up and give them a little pointer or two here and there. And I know Justin did that with some of our younger guys. I physically saw him holding court one day with about two or three of our younger guys chatting it up, and so I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! I love to see that," because you hardly don't see that anymore. Especially with a veteran.
So Scherzer apparently is content waiting, as I imagine Verlander is as well. They have no problem sitting out till past opening day, and they'll figure out where's the need. And that is a really cool spot to be in your career where you could just kind of watch all the bullshit unfold and then say, yeah, that's my spot. That's where I'm going. I'd love to see Scherzer go back with the Blue Jays. Felt like that was a great fit. Felt like if there's a role for him there, it's a no brainer.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, for me personally, these guys, as long as they take care of themselves during the off season, which I know
No,
they're
but
doing
in
because
both
they're
of those
vet.
guys, no
Yeah,
brainer, right?
yeah. But you know that they got some bullpen catcher and they're playing catch, if not every other day, every third day, or whatever. And so they're not going to be too far away from, towing the slab whenever they decide to sign. And, like you said, these guys, they're veterans. They want to pitch in the shit. They don't want to pitch, in a long drawn out season. They want to pitch for a team that they know is going to go to the playoffs, and when they toe the slab, it's going to mean something. And so we'll see what happens with those two guys.
All right, Thrill. I got a news story for you.
Uh
This
oh.
this is this is pretty crazy. You ready for this?
Yep. Ah,
Breaking
you just
news.
love doing that shit. You just love doing that.
The New York Yankees have signed a record contract internationally, and they are giving $7 million to a 13-year-old.
No way.
Yup,
No way.
yup.
A 13-year-old.
Oh fuck, man.
What are
What
they what
has
are they
this
trying
team
to do? They're
come to?
trying to like nail him down for like 15 years or something like that?
The New York Yankees have reportedly made a splash with Albert Mejias. It's been a slow winter for the Yankees following the disappointing playoff exit at the hands of the Toronto Blue Jays. Despite this, they have secured important position players with the return of Trent Grisham and Cody Bellinger. The latter was rumored to be a player of interest to both the Blue Jays and the Mets. On the pitching side, they have made one significant signing and one trade. They signed Ryan Yarbrough in addition to trading for Miami Marlins starting pitcher Ryan Weathers. However, they have also made one sneaky signing for an arm that can throw 102 miles per hour. If everything goes right, the addition of Mejias could be the most significant. Excuse me. If everything goes right, the addition of Mejias could be more significant than all the other moves combined, especially considering the recent spurning of a few other top prospects to the team. A new report reveals that the Yankees are ready to make a never before seen commitment to Mejias. According to Wilbur Sanchez, an MLB analyst who focuses on prospects from the Dominican Republic, was first to report the news on this record setting agreement. Albert Mejias, the Venezuelan prospect from the 2030 class. So this is the same class as Colton. I'm coaching kids that are in the class of 2030. He is set to make history on the international market, Sanchez wrote on January 23rd. At just 13 years old, he already has a pre-agreement with the Yankees for a record-setting $7 million bonus, $6.4 million plus $600,000 in educational scholarship. For a 13-year-old to receive that large of a financial commitment from the most decorated MLB franchise in history is quite the vote of confidence in the youngster. Sanchez shares more about the young Mejias. Quote, he is the best player in the history of the international market. He could play in a professional league right now. At his age, no one was doing the things that he does. Thrill, your thoughts on the Yankees signing a fucking 13-year-old?
13-year-old. Come on, man. He's a kid. He's a baby. You can say whatever you want. You can sugarcoat it. You can say he does things that nobody else can do. Dude, you're a major league team. He's not a major leaguer. He's a 13-year-old. He's probably just now growing his pubes. So what the fuck are we doing here in this sport?
I don't know, man. I will say that these kids are getting really good, really fast. Their skills are far superior to 13-year-olds from 10, 20, 30 years ago. But at the same time, he's still 13 years old. Dude, I coach 13 years olds. I understand that they are really good and they do show flashes of brilliance. And some of the kids I coach have 100-mile-per-hour exit velocities. But where they're going to be from a physical and mental perspective 5 years from now, where it really matters, I have no fucking idea, man.
And
I
neither
just
does
don't.
and neither does the Yankees. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But
Is this good or bad for the game of baseball?
it's bad. It goes back to that same shit with the NIL. I mean, you do the NIL stuff. It's like, a guy goes over here and he sucks it up, and can't play. And so then the college says, hey, look, we're not going to offer you a scholarship. So then he goes over here and takes Bob's money over here. And then they say he can't play. Then he goes and takes Frank's money over here. It's the same shit. It's like, the kid is 13 years old. Let him be a freaking kid. How about that one? Let him grow up and then, go after him like all the rest of the teams, when he's 16, 17, 18 years old, whatever. So,
So I had a scout, a good friend of mine, one of my best friends actually, Eric Valent, a roommate at UCLA, played in the big leagues with the Mets, played in the big leagues with the Phillies, and this is a guy that is a very well respected big league scout. And when we went back and forth just recently about a couple players, and one of them was an LTP kid. He was the 15U Team USA shortstop. We had a conversation, and I'm like, look, hey, I still don't know. I mean, this kid's 15, Team USA shortstop. I think he has the potential to be a big leaguer one day. But that said, we're still going to have to see him progress through high school. We're going to see how he deals with failure, see what happens when you're facing 90 plus on an everyday basis, and so on and so on. Well, he told me, and he made a really good fucking point. He goes, Burnsy, how old is he again? I go, 14, almost 15, yada yada. I think he just turned 15 at the time. And he goes, I won't look at a kid until he's 16. Just want to do it. Now, the international thing is a little different, right? But here in the United States, he goes, it doesn't do anything for me because who they are at 14, 15, a lot of times is not who they are at 16, 17. And you know when it fucking matters? At 17, 18. That's when we're drafting. That's what matters. Even the first pick of the draft last year. I mean, it was just, there's a lot of hoopla about this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. They ended up taking a 17-year-old shortstop out of Oklahoma. A lot of them thought it was going to be Ethan Holiday, and it wasn't. It was another kid. So, the shit happens quick, man. And this guy was on nobody's radar earlier, and he had moved up the board, and it happened between that 16th and 17th birthday. So, yeah, it's just I think it's too young. I really do. I'd love to. I get what the Yankees are seeing. I understand how you could get excited about a lot of these kids because I do the same thing, coaching these kids at the 13, 14, 15 age. But I can't tell you, man. I could tell you that they all have the talent to be D1 players right now. They all could be D1 players. Professional baseball, yeah, you're going to have success between now and the time that, draft, you become draft eligible. And then when it comes to the big leagues, I tell the parents, I tell other coaches, I tell the kids themselves, I go, boys, that's fucking up to you. That's up to you and your ability to be obsessed. You want to play the show? You got to be obsessed. If you're not
Hey,
obsessed,
look. Let me tell you something right now. Okay, we got a hitting guy down here. His name's Bill Daly. He knows a lot of good stuff. He was third base coach and assistant hitting coach for LSU when they were winning all those championships. And he'll call me in to work with a kid here and there because he runs a hitting clinic and batting cages and all that sort of stuff. And I'll go in there every now and then and work with a guy and just try to polish him up a little bit, right? But my rule is I do not work with guys until they're 16, 17 years old. And people go, why? My kid's 12 and he's a 6-time All-Star and all that. And I go, because your kid doesn't have that. You are not swinging the bat. You're just getting it going, the bat swinging you. I ask you to make an adjustment, and you go right back to where you were. I need somebody that can pay attention, separate what I'm talking about, and have, a little strength in order to do it with. And now you're talking about a kid that's 13 years old? Dude, he's nowhere near what he's going to be when he grows. And what happens if, instead of now being, a great, supposedly, unbelievable athlete, what happens if he becomes this like walking geek and he can't, put it all together? I hate to say it, but until I see a kid become a young adult, I don't work with them. Sorry.
yeah.
Don't work with them.
Well, the Yankees' confidence is that they say, you can put him in a professional league right now and he'll do fine. We don't know that. We just don't. I've seen a lot of guys with stupid talent, and I'm talking fucking hands quicker than you've ever seen. Some of the most power you've ever witnessed in your entire life. And they just they can't get it done. Until you face 90 to 95, night in and night out, and over and over and over and over, you will have no fucking idea if that kid has the ability to put the barrel of the bat on the baseball. And
Yeah.
if you do not have the ability to put the barrel of the bat on the baseball on a consistent basis, you're fucked. You'll
Hey,
never play a day in the big leagues. Not one.
hey, Tara just jumped in here and she said that your daughter calls them NARPSs, a non-athletic regular person. That's what your daughter calls them, and your wife's echoing the sentiments. But
Who are you
you know,
talking about? What's she talking about?
oh, I love it. I love it when she jumps in here
I
like
have
that.
heard the non-athletic regular person.
So,
I
hey,
have
look,
I have
it's a fact that you know you know this because you played against them. Everybody in the chat room has played against these guys. All right, that were studs when they were 12 and 13, and then they got fucking burnt out or something. And by 18 years old, they didn't want to be in the sport no more. I've
yeah.
seen it. I know you've seen it. I know Tara and everybody in the chat room has seen it. So, I would rather, instead of putting the big pressure on a kid that's 13 years old by signing him to the freaking Yankees, I'd let him be a kid. Let him be a kid, grow up, get strong, learn the game. I promise you, at 13 years old, he doesn't know the game, you know?
There's no chance. You just
Oh, and
haven't
by the
played
way,
enough. You haven't played enough
yeah,
baseball.
and by the way, while we're talking about the Yankees, this happened. Let me see when this happened. Shoot, 2 days ago, Yankees signed Cody Bellinger, 5 years, 162 million or something
That's a
along
great
those
sign.
lines. Huh?
That's a great sign.
Dude, it's
Like
awesome
right there.
sign.
Yeah.
It's an
I mean,
awesome sign.
consider Kyle
He
Tucker's getting
compliments
60 a fucking year.
dude, he compliments Judge and he fits in that lineup. He's gonna give you multiple positions. He can play anywhere in the outfield, he can play at first. And he didn't want to go nowhere. He has a 20 million signing bonus. He's got a full no trade clause because he doesn't want to go anywhere. He likes playing in New York. That's a freaking awesome sign right there for the Yankees.
Yeah, especially when you have his counterpart, somebody who's pretty similar to him, and Kyle Tucker making 60 large, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
The
No, and
Yankees got a fucking deal on this one.
hey, look, and he was. I mean, look, today it was yesterday, so it was January 26th. He was on the market for a while. Somebody could have swooped in there and snatched him up, but nobody did. So then the Yankees said, "Well, we got a nice little prospect here in the clubhouse. Let's keep him in the clubhouse."
So, what's the average annual value of that contract through?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, he got a $20 million signing bonus. That's 142 for 5 years, right?
Yeah, it says why Cody Bellinger's 162
So
million
that's 35 a year, right at that.
Yeah, but dude, if you are going to pay Cody Bellinger $35 million a year and you got him for 5 years, this is a proven winner. A
Yep.
guy who's won an
Yep.
MVP award. Not only that, this is what I love about Bellinger. This is a guy who's slumped before. This is a guy who's been at the bottom before and then rose from the
Yep.
ashes like the Phoenix, baby. This dude who actually is from Phoenix and was at my house doing backflips off the rocks into my pool when he was 11 years old after his Chandler Little League team made it to the Little League World Series. Huge fan of Cody Bellinger, but this is a guy that you know what you're going to get. Man, for 35 a year as opposed to Kyle Tucker for 60 a year, fuck off, bro. I will take Cody Bellinger all day, every day, any day, whichever day, anyway. That's my
There
guy.
you go. There you go. And once again, you and I think the same. I mean, I just know who he is, where he's been, you know, rookie of the year, then, MVP status, that kind of stuff. And then, like you said, the bottom fell out. Then he had to bring himself
Climb
back
his
through
way
the
back.
ashes with the
Yep.
Cubs and then signs with the Yankees. And boom, he's back. It's like there's a lot of stuff that he can give advice to younger guys about that they ought to pay attention to.
All right, Thrill, I'm running out of battery here, so we're going to have to make this quick. But here we go. We're going to finish off this Deuces Wild show by opening a pack of 1987 Topps baseball cards. This is my favorite year. It is my favorite card. I love the wood paneling on the outside. And of course, as you know, Thrill, it always comes complete.
Please do not eat the petrified gum.
With
Please
a
do not eat the
40-year-old
petrified gum.
40-year-old stick of bubble gum. And you know, it's my responsibility as a baseball fan to put this chemically
Oh my God. Ladies
laced
and gentlemen,
piece
see
of
what I got to
gum.
go through. See what I got to go through. Please feel my pain, people.
Listen
Here we go.
to the crunch.
The crunch. Oh my God. Tara, this is who you're married to, Tara. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, there you go. Go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. Give it a little heave ho. Attaboy. Good job.
Dude,
Oh God Almighty.
bro.
Petrified gum. What are you thinking?
Oh, dude. Wow,
Uh,
man.
uh,
It's getting worse and worse.
Tara, he needs a toothbrush and toothpaste immediately. Either that or some freaking scope you can gargle with.
The flavor's
Ugh.
not bad, that texture, dude. Like, I feel like I'm
Ugh.
literally like biting in to
Yeah,
fucking
Josh.
poison.
Hey, Josh said you're a spitter, so there you go. You
Yeah,
can.
Josh. This is
Hey, you're a hawk tui, so there you go.
oh. All right. Hey, Thrill. Okay.
Yeehaw, baby.
All right, dude. We're gonna have to make this quick.
Go
I'm
ahead,
now down at
fire away.
six.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm at 6% battery, dude. This thing will run out. The show will just end.
Dude, you
You
gotta
ready?
fucking plug the son bitch in every now and then. All right, what you got?
Dickie Fawn.
Dickie Thon, shortstop, second baseman for the Houston Astros. Just a gamer. I mean, he was a gamer. He played in my era, and then he transferred over into the Biggio and Bagwell era. Freaking good infielder, and could be a clutch hitter at times too. So, Dickie Thon, good athlete.
Do you have any fun stories about Mark Portugal?
Oh my God. Mark Portugal is the guy that I was let go of in San Francisco to sign.
Come on.
I was told that you need to go free agent because we need to sign pitching. We couldn't sign you. We need to sign pitching. And when I went to the Texas Rangers, San Francisco Giants signed Mark Portugal, who, at times he was really good with the Houston Astros when he was with the San Francisco Giants. So, yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything on this guy right here? The first baseball card I think I've seen of him as a player, Terry Francona.
Oh, my God. Which team was that when you had it right there? Was that the Expos? Oh, the
Chicago
Cubs.
Cubs.
Oh, geez. All right. So Terry came out of University of Arizona.
Yep.
Really good ball player, and he had a nice big league career. Nothing major, nothing out the ordinary, and then became a Hall of Fame quality manager. So, good dude, good baseball guy, good baseball mind, and I wouldn't mind playing for him.
Certainly, I had an opportunity to play for him. He was our bench coach in Oakland, and good dude, stand-up guy, and somebody who's had a ton of success as a manager in the league. Obviously, okay, Thrill, a former teammate of yours. Do you have any fun stories about the
Oh my
Candyman,
God,
Candy
Candida
Maldonado?
Maldonado. Oh my God. What a beauty he was. He, till this day, he calls me a hillbilly redneck. You know, he'll text me from time to time, "What's up, hillbilly?" And then he'll text me and go, "What up, redneck?" You know, and he and generally when he's texting me, he's texting Kevin Mitchell at the same time. So it's me, him, and Kevin Mitchell on a text thread, and we're just laughing and giggling and howling. What a great dude! He came over from the Dodgers. He was always absolutely perfectly dressed, and here I come in there and I got my shit going everywhere, and he'd have to like come over and fix my collar and everything, and I love him to death. He's a great guy. I love Candida Maldonado.
Candida Maldonado, and I will say this, Thrill, the most iconic moment in Candy Maldonado's career, in my humble opinion, was running over and throwing the fucking flying right elbow
At
into the
Ozzie
dog
Smith.
pile at Ozzie Smith, dude. What a fucking moment.
What a beautiful individual. I love that man, and there's nothing I can say bad about him. He and I like this. Kevin Mitchell and I like this. Matt Williams and I like this. Robbie Thompson and I like this. It was like, we formed such a great bond, and he made for a lot of fun on the baseball field, in the clubhouse, and on the plane. He's just besides being a great ball player, he is kind of the glue that kept a lot of the pieces together. And one fact, and you guys can go back and look it up, he owned Lee Smith. Lee Smith would come in and it'd be like shadows, and he's throwing 98 and he's buzzing shit up by your face and all that. Candy would walk up and whack every freaking time.
Well, dude, I mean, you know as well as I know, we've never met a Dominican that can't hit a fucking fastball.
Yep. He could put the barrel of the bat on Big Lee Smith, which a lot of guys could not do.
Thrill that had to have warmed your heart when you went back and looked at the tape and see who had your back first.
Yeah. So the I never told the whole story. I give y'all bits and pieces, but the guy that I told that I was going to get somebody was our first base coach, and that was Dusty Baker. So when I go in there, we get in the brouhaha, and I'm on the ground. The first person that's on the ground is Dusty Baker. All right. So I got a Hall of Fame manager on the ground with me in the middle of a brouhaha. And then the next guy coming is the Candida Maldonado. And he goes to throw and he misses and he catches him with the freaking forearm. And dude, it was as good of a knockout blow as I've ever seen.
So fucking cool, man.
Yeah. Who you got else in the pack? Who else in the pack?
Well, we only got time for one more.
All right, one more. Come
The
on, come on.
battery is dwindling, and this guy, you and I know, Thrill, is a fucking baseball lifer. Wally Backman.
Oh my goodness gracious! All you got to do, is go Google Wally Backman going off on his team or something like that, and you'll get exactly who Wally Backman is. He cares. He does it the right way. He's old school. He plays. He's down and dirty. And if you don't like Wally Backman, you don't like old school baseball. You like all these fucking pansies that play today. If you want somebody who will get down and dirty, it is Wally Backman. I'll take him on my team any fucking day of the week.
Fucking A, man. Wally Backman. We need more Wally Backmans in the world.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. He calls it. He calls it like he sees it. There's no mincing words. Everybody knows exactly where they stand, and he's right all the time.
Wally, we love you. You have an open invitation to come on Deuces Wild.
Whenever you want, brother, bring it on. Bring it on.
All right, Thrill. That's it until next week. By the way, um, pending some executive approval, we will have a new title sponsor of the show, maybe as early as next week. We're fucking pumped, man. And our guy, Kevin, and I'm just going to leave it at that, has come up huge. So, that all said, we look forward to pimping it out, yada, yada, yada. Until then, go to ericbyrnes.com, get yourself an effort list, let them playbook, a Daily Hustle 222, and a little Flippy as our title sponsor. But,
Hey,
yeah, good things happening with our show.
while we got a second on here, raise your glass to Jose Pepe Manuele. Here's to you,
Yes.
brother. Thinking
Yeah,
about
man.
you. Thinking about you.
1,000%. Pepe, nice work, dude. Pepe went in, and he's been working his ass off recently. So a lot of good things happening with No Filter. A lot of good things happening with Deuces Wild.
Good.
Thrill, have a great week. Are we back next week?
As of right now, I don't see why not. I'm good.
Fuck yeah, man.
Hey, look, we inching closer to spring training. So as you well know, who knows? We might have a free agent signing, or we might have some more news. For
We'll have
next
more
week's
news.
show.
Yeah,
If not,
absolutely.
we're gonna air it out as we normally do.
As we always fucking do.
As we
All
always
right. Everyone have a fantastic week. We'll be back at you with a little daily hustle. Probably tomorrow or maybe the next day. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
Hey, let's do this one thing before we go. Make sure you plug your phone in, Jack, so
I
that you
know.
can charge your shit up.
Bro, we're now at 5%. I got my phone here that's at I think 4%. So there's all kinds of devices. The problem is the headset goes in here, so I can't put the charger in at the same time. Who
All right.
gives a shit? Next thing, hey, bottom line is if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, do us a favor. If you can leave us a 5-star review, we would greatly appreciate it. If you could write a little something, that always helps with the ratings as well. And then one final note for each and every one of you out there tonight. See ya!